Hi guys, here I am with another video on DIY soldering. Also a very easy thing to do yourself, to repair some things. If you need to solder a wire back on a PC board, if you need to join two wires together, I'm going to show you how to do that. So I have two types of solder irons here. It's this one which you need to plug in, need to some time to warm up. Once it's hot, you can use it. This have like a needle point, so it's nice for doing small areas and working on PC boards and so on. But I don't really like the round tip, because if you put the solder on there, it doesn't stay on, it falls off easily. Other thing I don't like is, if you do one thing, you need to unplug it, because otherwise it might burn out. And then if you want to solder something again, you need to warm it up again, wait for a few minutes. So that's why I'm not really using this anymore. I'm using this if I want to do plastic welding or make holes in plastic or something. So I have this type of solder gun. It have a trigger, warms up in a few seconds. To have this little light here. The tip is not ideal for PC board soldering, okay, but for here it will be fine, just to show you guys how to do it. It warms up very quick, very nice. If you release it, cools down quickly again. So let's start by soldering onto a PC board first. So what I have here is a contact point there on the PC board with no solder on there. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put some solder on there, and then I'm also going to prepare the wire, put some solder on the wire, and then I will join it to the PC board. So first thing we're going to do, we have this called flux. This is very old. You don't get this flux anymore. Well, not in South Africa, but it's a very good product. It's working very good. It basically looks like grease. So first thing you do is you put a little bit of this flux on that contact point there, where I want to put some lead on. This is nice because it's nice and sticky. Okay. This is the solder I use, the lead. It's basically lead. I put a little bit of lead on the tip of the old soldering iron. After putting the flux there, I just basically touch it, and there you can already see there's like a little bubble of solder on the contact point. So everywhere on the metal you put the flux, that's where the solder will stick. So then again, we prepare our wires, normal knife, just take off the protective casing around the wire. And the first thing we do here then, we want to put some lead on this wire so that it can easily join there. So what I do is I just put some flux here on this wire as well. It's copper wire. After putting flux, warm up the soldering iron, put some lead again on the tip here, and as you can see, just touch it like that, and the lead will stick on this wire. Okay, so then the thing I'm going to do is just going to cut this tip a little bit smaller, because I want to join it to the PC board. Warm up your solder iron, put this on the little contact point you want to solder it. Once your soldering iron is nice and hot, just touch it and it will melt into the lead there. I'm going to show you guys how it looks now closely. This is how it looks, nice, melted nicely in there, very good. Okay, so because I'm gonna join these wires on in another way, usually I work with crimping plastic, so just remember, always put your crimping plastic on before you solder the wire. Don't make the mistake I usually do, soldering, then remembering you have to put crimping plastic. So this is my other way of soldering. Some people, so I'm just twisting the wires together nicely. Some people doesn't like to do it this way. Depends on my situation. Sometimes I do like it. If the wire is nice and strong, I like to have a clean joint by doing it this way. I will show you guys exactly what I mean. So I put flux on both sides of the wire again. And I'm going to do the same where I put some lead on the tip of the soldering iron. And basically I'm transferring the lead to the wires. That one. And this one. Also make sure there's always a little bit solder left on the soldering iron. Makes it join easier. So then you just hold the two wires next to each other, very close to each other. There shouldn't be a gap, and you touch them with the soldering iron again. As I said, I'm going to show you, it makes a nice clean joint. Okay, another way people usually do, let me make this a little bit longer. So what they do is, before they put flux on the wire, they join the two wires together first by hand. So I put my crimping plastic on again. So you basically put it in the middle of each other. You twist it around each other. Twist it. Make sure it's twisted nicely. Both sides. Twist it basically like this by hand. Then you put some flux on it. Nice. Okay, put some flux on it. Soldering iron. Put some lead. If you do it this way, you need to put enough lead on the tip of your soldering iron, because this wire will absorb a lot of it. And you just gently take it over here. And you can also see it's a very nice joint there. There you go. So I got my crimping plastic on. I've got my lighter. I just want to crimp this plastic here. This one. And there you go. You have a nice strong wire there. Both these types of soldering is good. This one here I showed you, where you twist the wire onto each other before you solder, is better for thinner wires. This is better for, well, it depends. It's good for thicker wires, obviously. And yeah, as you can see, nice clean solder there. Please keep in mind, if you do solder on PC boards, never keep the soldering iron on the board for too long, because you might damage some chips like this on here. In this case, there's some LED lights on here, LED diodes on here as well. Be careful, you can damage them as well with too much heat. There are some other ways where you put, well, this thing is actually heat sink, but where you can put a heat sink at the back of the PC board where you are soldering. Heat sink will be some sort of aluminium metal you can put on there, and maybe you can put it in the fridge or something before you start. But yes, that's how you do some basic soldering. If there's anything you would like to know or would like me to show you guys, you're welcome to request that on my channel, or we'll put my email address somewhere. You guys can mail me requests as well. Anything I can help you with, anything you want to know, give me a shout. Maybe I can help you out. So thank you for watching. Till next time. Cheers.